Let's talk about the bridge in Eldest Daughter. So you know that part where it just starts to get bigger? It's not louder, it's just bigger and you feel all the feelings. And it's not the piano doing it, it's not the guitar. What's going on is actually layers and layers and layers of her own voice. An orchestra of Taylor Swift's. For years, string sections have jumped in to elevate a bridge, make you pay a little bit more attention. It can be very, very suspenseful. Your ears go, oh, something else is happening. But in Eldest Daughter, there's not a string section. I've been in tons of recording studios. I was a session player for years, I still am. So I hear a lot of these decisions being made. What I like to imagine is that the producers, and she's a producer too, thought the bridge needs something. Oh, but what if instead of a string section, we use Taylor Swift voice? I needed to hear it for myself, so I recreated the bridge just using my own voice. And I love some of these chords. They add like a dissonant note in there that gets resolved, you know, the classic tension to resolution. You see a lot of tracks there, and I didn't even record as many as there are. She does all the harmonies. She does an ah, she does an elevated harmony. You know, she doubles the voice. When you double a voice, you can put one in each speaker, and it feels like it's just, you're surrounded. And if we take this back to what the song is about, who is holding up this song? Who is doing all the hard work of making that bridge cinematic? She is. No, I'm not saying she's the first person to ever use her own voice to do what orchestras have done in the past. Of course not. It's a super cool production choice, arrangement choice though, that supports what the song's lyrics are saying. They're very breathy too. Sometimes you'll get a ah, and that breath stays in the mix. And so it's almost like the note just trails off. So you're hearing humanity. And those background vocals are functioning in the way that string sections do very often in these kinds of pop songs. But in true Eldest Daughter form, she's doing the heavy lifting herself. And to answer your question about what sounds a little bit off on Bad Bitch and Savage, side note, I always want the lyrics to be, but I'm not a bad bitch and this isn't Kansas. Like a Wizard of Oz reference, but the lower notes that I'm not a are very strong. And then when she gets to the high-pitched bad bitch, she goes into a more breathy voice. So when you get the more airy sound like this, your vocal cords are not touching. More air is popping through. It sounds more vulnerable. Whether she sat and thought, you know what, when I get to this word, I'm going to make it breathy so that it sounds vulnerable. Knowing what I know about working in a studio with brilliant musicians, I feel like it was probably more just natural. Like, you know, you feel these emotions when you sing and you make those choices on the fly. She wasn't gonna belt bad bitch. This was a let's make this a little more thoughtful, less confident, almost fragile. So yeah, that choice too fits the Eldest Daughter's, the whole emotional DNA of the song, right? The eldest daughter being the strong one, holding it together, even when her voice shakes. So yeah, in the history of pop, strings have always been a thing. They've always been associated with kind of a swelling of emotion. I think it was an incredible production choice to have her imitate the string section on this song about an eldest daughter who carries all the weight. She's not writing for the orchestra, she is the orchestra. Also, sidebar from a production note, it's way easier to just stack a whole bunch of your vocals on than to like bring a string section in.